Um, so my question is, and it's always like fascinating, is why join a chamber? And then even more importantly, why be a sponsor, a diamond sponsor of a local chamber?
Yeah, I think all chamber of commerces are great for networking. And I think it's an opportunity to sit together with like-minded people and have meaningful discussions, not just where the city is going in terms of commerce, but also just throw ideas off each other like we're doing right now, and borrow and share things that are working, learn from people's mistakes they made, and everyone has a horror story, and you can learn it and say, okay, I'll remember that next time. I won't do that. So it's a great environment to be able to just share ideas and network, and then even learn something that you really weren't even seeking to be learned. You just, oh, I didn't really know that. That's great. Now I know something that I didn't know. Uh, and why do we sponsor it? Because listen, if people don't sponsor it, this won't exist.
Mm.
So you need to recognize the value of the cause, the good that it does, and even if you can't contribute a lot, you contribute something to keep it going. It's kind of like church. You donate some money to church, and why? Because you don't want to see it die off. Because guess what? When things end, they never come back. It's really tough. So you got to keep it alive.
I think I'd add too, just from my outside perspective, is that you've been a good citizen in the city of Malden, which I
Yeah,
think is, it's wonderful to hear you have good business and a very good business, but I think you're also a good community citizen, right? Which I
yeah,
think as a business, that's also a level of expectation, responsibility in whatever city you're located in, is
yeah,
being part of that. And I know that the city of Malden, I know, has appreciated that as well. So,
yeah. Especially
and
Dan. He is just he's so involved in his neighborhood that he lives in.
yep,
He's a watchdog, and uh, wants to make sure his neighborhood stays nice, and that's why he's involved in a lot of these things.
yep, yep. And he's always doing like the Halloween, like you do the Halloween
Yeah,
event where you bring the security trucks around and the kids love it, right? I
yep,
mean, you get not only because you're giving out candy, but you know how they love sirens and trucks and
yeah. They get a kick
yeah,
out of it.
yeah, yeah. So it's a kind of a cool way to have them think about also for them. Yeah, just think about different, what am I going to do when I grow up kind of stuff.
Yeah, come work for us. By then, when they grow up, they'll probably be paid $50 an hour the way where
Yeah,
things are
by
going. But
that
yeah.
time, by that time, exactly. Kevin, is there anything else we want to make sure, or Dan, anything you want to make sure we add before we close out today?
No, you guys are in charge here. You let me know.
Love that. We like being in charge, right,
Yeah.
Kevin?
Always in charge. Always in charge.
Always in charge.
Just one more question I'd like to bring up, and this is something that always affected me, and I always just love to learn from others. Is the balance of like work and family, especially from people who run and own their own business or are the decision makers in their business. Like how much stress it is, and if it is stressful, like what do you do to decompress, and how do you bring family
Mm.
involved in your life with is there separation? Is it like an integration? Is there, so I'm always curious about family
Yeah, it's
and
an
work.
interesting one, and it definitely evolves over time because I remember like when I first started here 10 years ago, where we were so small, we all had to do everything ourselves. Even trying to make payroll was a struggle, and I think we had 26 guards. I'm like, can you remember the days when we couldn't pay 26 guards? And it's like now my payroll is 500,000 a cycle. It's like insane how much it's evolved. But the stresses change as you evolve with the company. Things that you were once really worried about are no longer your worries. You develop new sets of worries as you continue to grow. Um, and yeah, you definitely, especially since it's a 24-hour business, um, we all talk with each other as if we're like family members because you kind of have to. Dan will call me at 9 o'clock at night. Brian will call me at 2 in the morning. It's like we're always got to be on it to some degree. And they really, the management team really works hard. And I wish they can get some more sleep, but uh, they are hard workers. But I think that the work life balance, Sometimes being a good manager doesn't always translate well as a good husband or father. I think sometimes for me, I have to turn the switch for a second when I get home and go, okay, I'm not talking to employees right now. I'm talking to my wife. Okay. It's like, so sometimes you have to just reset yourself and realize, okay, the workday's over. Let's not take too much of it home. You don't have to be on like you are all day. You got to learn that. It's a tough skill to learn. And it's sometimes it can be a balancing act, but things are definitely easier when the company grows and you're able to get assistance. When you get to that point, you can take a breather.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And-
Don, anything else you'd like to add?
No, great. Appreciate really, Dan, your time today and
Yeah.
New England security and everything you've done. And I've learned a lot today. So I do appreciate that too, as
Yeah.
well as really what you do. And that's been kind of the cool thing. I'll just add about these podcasts we've done with the Diamond sponsors is we're just learning so much more about the businesses and the intricacies and the details of the business that you really don't
Yeah.
know, just from the the symbol that reflects them or
Right.
just the getting to know Dan or Dennis Cataldo from Cataldo Ambulance or on and on. It's been really insightful and helpful
Yeah, I'm
to
sure.
get a better sense of the businesses.
Everyone
thank you.
probably has a unique story to tell. And if you put all that in one big book, you have a book of very unique stories that you can learn a lot from.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
that's
thank
definitely
you.
the goal. Learn the values, because I think being Diamond sponsors is one reason why we chose is because it's successful enough to give back monetarily, at least.
Mhm.
And to do that is just inherent in the individuals there and just kind of learning about them and learn about their values, but then also how the values affect everybody else in the business, which then also in turns affect everybody else in the communities of all the communities that they touch.
Yeah.
Mm.
And get to know that, I feel like is the real gold, and we don't want to mine that gold through these podcasts. And I just love hearing it. And like you said, we're gonna compile all this together and just really highlight how awesome you are and how security is. And now it's like the why behind it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for your time and sharing all of that.
No, glad to be here. Happy to have shared with you.
Thanks again, Dan.
All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you guys all soon. Bye.